God be with you.
What? Good day to you. What do you need?
What the hell? Goods from, and eat the right way to take them.
Good health to you.
Can we do something about the price? Satisfied?
We're getting there, just drop. Aye, that would do it.
with you, Henry.
I found Ginger. He begged me to ask if he can return, man.
Why should I take him back? It might be his fault I had to bury my husband.
What?
Why else would he flee but guilt? The men said they didn't see him in bed. He didn't have a clean conscience because he gave those murderers a signal.
That's not true. He fled because one of the attackers recognised him and Ginger was afraid he'd come back and kill him.
Those are just excuses. He wouldn't dare come back.
But they came back the very same day. If he hadn't run, they'd have killed him and everyone else.
But why would they do that?
Why not? They'd already murdered several people, why not a few more?
And now I'm supposed to take him back?
Save you, Henry.
What if they come back for him and kill one of my daughters in the process?
The cutthroats who were after him have been taken care of. And the rest have no reason to return here.
And what about for revenge? I can't take him back.
I'm sorry I have to disappoint him.
Me too. But I can't have him coming back. Not if him being here puts others at risk.
Very well. We'll see if we can't deal with those cutthroats yet.
Then I'd gladly take him back. But not until then.
God be with you, Henry.
I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so.
Satisfied?
Hey!
It'll take more
Henry's
than
come
that
to
to
see us.
persuade me.
Satisfied?
I'd almost shake on that. Almost.
How are you, Henry?
Very well. I agree.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story, or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
One of the Neuhoff stable boys, a lad they called Ginger, fled from there and hid out with some charcoal burners. I have to say, there's a lot of them around. I never thought how many forges and ironworks they have to supply.
That's true, but keep to the point.
Oh, yes, sir. I had quite a job finding him. He was well hidden and with good reason. The bandits wanted to kill him because he recognised one of them.
Did he tell you what happened?
He said it wasn't one gang, but two. And one of them took fright when the slaughter started. Seems they were only interested in loot, so they quarrelled with the other lot. Then it came to a skirmish in the woods and one of them was killed. And the rest of them scattered.
And did you find out where they went?
All I know is one of them is from Ujits. I know enough about him to be able to track him down.
All right, but those cutthroats must know who he is too, right? And if they want to get revenge on him or silence him, you'd better hope they don't get to him before you. So drop everything and get on his trail. Find out what he knows and then report back to me. I'm going to our encampment at Merhayed to oversee the security of the region.
Yes, sir.
Good health to you.
Any chance of some work here, Captain?
That all depends on what you're ready to do. As I'm sure you've noticed, the roads around here, Sir Hanush has declared quite a reward for dealing.
So what do you think I should do about them?
We know about one of their encampments. It's to the east of... I don't really mind how you deal with them. Anyway, the leaders generally wear spurs, maybe like they're pretending they're nobility. Who cares? In any case, bring me the spurs.
Very well. I'll see to it.
Wait. In addition, Sir Hanush has offered a reward for every bandit who's killed. So take a good sharp dagger. You'll get a bit extra for each ear you bring.
Very well. That sounds amusing.
Well, as for amusement, I'd entertain myself by being very careful, lad.
Hey!
God be with you, Henry.
What the hell are you doing?
I can't just drop everything and leave.
We've met before, haven't we?
We have, and I defeated you in combat. No doubt you would like a chance of reprisal.
Sorry, I don't have time for it.
No matter. My apologies for keeping you. Godspeed.
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
If that's what you call nothing to see, I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh, or all that's left of him.
Sacre. Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhoff raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Another thing about Lubosh. What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream. Judith. Looks like this is meant to be a warning. But for who? And why? Maybe the gang had a falling out. But a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? A bed. Nothing here.
Jesus Christ be praised.
Another thing about... How come he...
He got that...
Ask him that. You think it was a cathedral he was building? Always adding fancy bits and decorations. All I want is something to keep the damn cow out. Hasn't he been at it a couple of years already? 3. He was out there again yesterday evening, staring at the thing and scratching his chin. He'd be more use as a fence post himself. Leave the dog.
Jesus, look where you're going.
Stop him, someone! Stop him, someone! Shit! Gone weak at the knees, have you? All right, enough! I give up! You hear? Be a bit more careful.
Had enough?
Yeah, you got me. Come now. We don't have to get all worked up on account of a scrap of cloth, do we?
Look where you're going.
No excuses. Hand it over.
Here.
You got the thrashing you deserved. I hope you've learned your lesson.
Yes, sir. You really let him go? Just like that? And did you get the loot back?
I did.
Thank you. A thieving magpie.
Thanks. I'm feeling lucky today. How about you? Dice?
Coming.
ale as usual.
God's holy hat. We'll see.
I'd like a beer.
To the women, God bless them.
We'll see. Huh.
One ale, please.
That's all.
My pleasure.
One beer for me.
A tankard here.
This'll be the one.
I'll fetch it right.
Oh, I don't believe it.
Here.
I'd like a beer.
Christ, I'll have to get my own ale.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know how I can help you, but
Who was this Lubosh who was murdered?
you could see at first glance he was no good. I kept well out of...
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I don't think he was home. I didn't see him all day.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
There wasn't sight or sound of him for a long time. And then yesterday, he turned up at the church and even talked to the parish priest. I never saw him do that before. Probably had a bad conscience.
Do you know who Lubosh used to spend time with? Kin or...
As far as I know, he had nobody.
That's all.
Is there somewhere I could sleep?
All right. For how long?
How about if I pay you for...
No problem. But you pay.
It's quite a... What do you say to this?
You're a right pinch purse.
Are we agreed?
Well, a little more and we'll call it a deal.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
Where do I go to sleep?
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building, there's a ladder up to the loft.
My respects to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of
I don't know.
Do you know anyone Lubot?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next...
Have you noticed anything...
Come to think of it, he was in church. I was wondering what he would...
That's all.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've come in the name of Sir Hannah.
Of course.
Have you noticed anything?
Well, now I think of it,
Do you know what Lubosh would...
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone?
He was a loner.
That man Lu...
He was a drunk who was always looking for a fight. Nobody...
That's all. Thank you. I'd like to discuss the price.
All right, so.
What do you say to this?
You're a right pinch purse.
Oh, that's a decent price. I see you know how to wield a sword, Father. I wouldn't have expected that from a man of the cloth.
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by, and it helps keep me in good form.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
A bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you really look me in the eye and tell me that, when you know you may be condemning innocent people to death?
I can, because if I broke that vow, the consequences would be much worse than if I didn't. Maybe not immediately, but one day. The mills of God grind slowly.
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern, over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
My respects to you.
The parish priest here in Ujits, he's a peculiar...
He is indeed. He's as hard as nails. More than once he's intervened in the brawl in the tavern.
I doubt he acquired those skills at the seminary.
You know how it goes. The nobles send their youngest sons to study for the priesthood. And our parish priest, he probably learned to fight at home before he went to university. That's how it goes with those aristocrats. But I heard something happened and he was roving the world for a while. Don't know what he got up.
What the hell? Hey!
Look out the brigands. Aye, they're all over. That damn citizen and the bloody heathens. In King Charles' day, we had peace and calm everywhere.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Care to try your hand at...
This'll be the one. This'll be the one. That's it. That's it. Now I'm for the chop. Now you. That's it. We'll see. Now you. Oh. That's it. Your turn. Oh. No point in pushing it.
I'll be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush.
I don't know nothing about.
Do you know what Lubosh was?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse
hell?
of someone entering the village.
Be a bit more
He looked
careful.
like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky.
That man Lubosh who was murdered.
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself.
That's all. Thank
What the hell?
Good day to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Light.
Of course.
That's all.
Hey!
Damn!
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. They had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovna. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but they...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noel? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhoff stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses, and I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much... I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want...
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, if people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that...
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats...
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Lubosh told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But, first thing tomorrow, I'll try something I think might help you.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom, just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to... Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are... Amen!
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuff.
What do you think of this?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that in a few years it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most...
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then quit?
No, I don't.
Thanks for the sermon. Oh, it's getting quite late.
What do you suppose? We have a drink.
Ah, that sounds...
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj panu desej smutek, dodnielo i rano utek, niech małżeński majsat, do kerażylne saje prach. Už sej mojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požadem si huby jako poslední jen. Buďme se mámy a norada stávy a tak vypal suky a posaď se mi sen. Tak posaď se sen a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh. Oh. You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Your end is nigh. Yeah.
You call
Look it out!
Cry now?
So, my dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell? Done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me?
Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once, the confessional seal isn't so...
Don't mock me.
Well, all right.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do, exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about...
Christ almighty.
Wonderful.